Alrighty there, folks. My name is Mark Mars. I love helping trainers, presenters, coaches, and facilitators really take their results to the next level. And what I want to share with you today is essentially some insights about advanced communication. And essentially, I'm going to give you about 6 phrases that you can use whenever you are presenting. Now, here's the deal though, folks. Whenever you are presenting, you have to realize that one of the most important skills that you'll ever develop is your ability to step out of your body. Like, I know it's going to sound a little bit weird, but you have to step out of your body and you have to actually think about how would someone respond to your communication? How would someone respond to your communication? What I mean by that is any question that you ask to your audience, you actually have to think about how would your audience actually answer that, right? And what are some possible answers that they may actually come up with? Whoa, a little bit trippy here, right? But the thing is, when you can actually be sitting on the other side of the table, metaphorically, the table over there, and you can actually think, okay, I'm just asking a question to my audience, such as, how did you find that activity? Or how are we feeling today? Or, are we excited to be here today, right? All of those questions could potentially have a negative that comes out of that. For example, how did you find that activity? Oh, that was hard, mate. Oh, that was difficult. Oh, that was really hard. Or I couldn't do X, Y, Z, right? So people are going to respond how they respond, right? And if you have a lot of open questions, people are going to throw lots and lots of different things to you. Now, it doesn't mean that every answer has to be positive, right? But you do need to be thinking about how could somebody respond to a question you ask, right? So for example, who's feeling nervous today? Well, that's probably not a great question to ask if you are looking to maintain a healthy and safe and excited learning environment, right? Like, why would you want to elicit that emotion, right? So the first thing I want to just share with you is start to actually do an audit of the questions you actually ask your audience. And before you ask the question, start to think about how could someone actually answer this question I'm about to ask, right? And so now we're going to go into some of my favorite phrases to use when I present and train. So you may want to grab a pen and write these down. So the first phrase that I absolutely love to ask is, does that make sense? Does that make sense, right? Now, there's some videos going around online somewhere that say, does that make sense is a bad thing to say. I don't understand why. I love using this phrase, and I'll often use it in the online environment, and I'll say, does that make sense? Drop a yes in the chat box if that makes sense, or I'll say, drop an MS in the chat if this is making sense for you, right? And I like to check in with my audience every 3 to 5 minutes. Every 3 to 5 minutes, I want to be checking in. Next phrase that I love to use is one of my absolute favorites. Grab a pen and write this down. 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 And you want to be using that phrase probably every, I would say, 5 to 6 minutes, because you want your audience taking notes. Even if they're not reading and writing learners, you want them taking notes, because that then allows you to get them to stand up, move around, and do debriefing activities based on their notes that they've taken from you. So just to recap, number 1, does that make sense? Next one, grab a pen and write this down. And what that also allows you to do, if you say something profound that you didn't plan it, you're like, oh, that was good. Grab a pen and write this down and say it again. Next one is, would you agree that? Would you agree that? And I've done entire videos just on this one phrase. But what you don't want to do is have pockets of disagreement in your room, right? So you want to be able to bring everybody back on the same page. So instead of saying, I don't know, Donald Trump was the best president America ever had, probably not a great statement, because you're going to get pockets of disagreement, or maybe people absolutely love it, hate it. People also, another group will be, I don't know what I should say. So you want to have phrases such as, would you agree that Donald Trump could be one of the most controversial presidents America has ever had, right? And that's how you can bring everybody back on the same page in a place of agreement. Now, without agreement, you can't influence anyone. Next one, would it be a problem if? So would it be a problem if you were delivering a workshop and people were falling asleep in your training? Would it be a problem if your nerves were getting so overwhelming that you weren't able to deliver confidently? Or would it be a problem if you were using your mobile phone while driving, had an accident, and the insurance company didn't pay out their insurance because they found out what you did? Would that be a problem, right? So the expression, would it be a problem if, is another absolute game changer and classic. Next one. The biggest thing I want you to take away is, the biggest thing I want you to take away from this workshop is, the biggest thing I want you to take away from this slide is, the biggest thing I want you to take away from this video is, the biggest thing I want you to take away from this conversation is. All right, so it's a fantastic one to really drive home the key message that you want to get across. Now, the last one is a little bit of mental gymnastics, but I absolutely love this one. It's my favorite. Before I move on, let me check in. Before I move on, let me check in. Let me give you an example. So, let's go with Japan, all right? Japan, the best place to go for sushi is at this sushi market in Tokyo. Before I move on, let me check in. Where's the best place to go for sushi in Japan? The sushi market, right? And you would get your audience to actually respond to that. Or let me give you another one. There are 3 keys to delivering online: rapport, engagement, and retention. Before I move on, folks, drop in the chat, what are the 3 keys? Beautiful. Rapport, engagement, and retention. Alrighty, folks, so those are some examples of phrases that we can use. If you want to listen to them again, rewind the video, go back, right? But if you use these phrases, you're going to find that your confidence really raises. And also, don't forget, start to really think about how would someone respond to your communication, and start to think about if there's a particular response that you want, change the question or change how you're communicating with your audience. On that note, folks, hope you got some value from the video. If you did, like, comment, share. Let's get the message out there. And my name is Mark Miles, helping you become an even better trainer, presenter, coach, and facilitator. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.